Good evening and bienvenue, my fond fair friends, family, and subscribers. This is your humble narrator, Diomedes Rouge, and this is the start of a brand new series. Yes, a brand new series. And what encouraged this? Why, my 100 subscribers that I just got, and now more than 100 subscribers. Good lord, apparently people enjoy my content. I am so happy. And I do mean that legitimately. I do mean that quite legitimately. I am very happy that people are enjoying what I'm putting my time and effort in. So, this is going to be What If Bell was a Spartan? And no, not from the movie 300 Spartans. They got a lot wrong with them. Granted, they got some things right, but a lot wrong. So, this story will begin as most stories do, with the birth of a child, with the birth of a very young boy. Well, birth of a boy. Obviously, he's very young. Good lord. Tripping over myself already. Now, Leonidas, and yes, there was a king, Leonidas. Leonidas takes one look at this boy and just says, you're going to make a fine addition to our land, and eventually a fine king. I'm proud to have a good son, as strong as you are. And that's whenever one of the elders says, all right, quit coddling the boy. We must do, the tradition. Yes, of course. As they take him and baptize him in wine. Why would you say that? Why would they do that, you ask? Believe it or not, that was actually a Spartan tradition. Newborns were baptized in wine to not only increase their constitution, but to have their first drink upon birth. Spartans, everybody, Spartans. So, one moment, please. My apologies, I had to take care of something. So, as tradition states, the boy was, well, taken care of to the utmost standards of Spartan care, which means after they essentially were weaned off their mama's milk, they were left to their own devices around the house. Now, they wouldn't let them wander off too far or get injured that easily and such like that. Like, just wander outside and try and play with a wild dog. No. Mainly, they were sat on the ground, told to do whatever they liked as long as they didn't, go too far or stray too far. His mother, Gorgo, and yes, that is her name. His mother slightly doted upon him. Now, yes, that is a bit odd, but you have to understand, little Belle was an adorable little brat. So, she doted upon him and liked to ruffle his hair and make sure he was always alright. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is at a certain age, all Spartan boys were to begin training. They were to begin training around the age of 8. And they would continue their training until they reach around the age of 18. And even then, their training was never truly complete. Yes, this is going to be fun. Now, I will say this. While his mother did somewhat dote upon him, his father always seemed a bit colder to him. Leonidas truly did love little Belle. But at the same point in time, he didn't want him to get a big head. He wanted Belle to be sure that he was going to be a proper, trained warrior of Sparta. He wasn't going to half-ass it, no. He was going to make sure that his son was the best warrior this nation has ever seen. That all of Greece could be proud of his son. And boy, will they be. So, as Belle gets older to around, 8 years old, he begins to start his training. He will spend less and less time with his family and more time training with the other boys. There, they will learn to eat, sleep, fight, and, kill. They won't be practicing that last part for a bit, but they will learn how to do so. The trainers are very strict as per Spartan nature. Now, upon one day, they're doing a field training exercise. And it's raining very heavily. That does not mean the exercise gets called off. No. It keeps going. Why? Simple. Spartans, they don't give a damn about weather. They keep fighting. And so they were split up into 2 teams. 2 groups, if you will. The objective? Capture and hold the hill. The 2 teams are separated the 2 teams were consisting of a group of 4 each. So, what does Belle do? He picks up his wooden spear and his wooden shield, and he charges straight up for the top of it, not giving a damn. He charges straight up. Because he's figuring, I have more people watching me than ever. Because his dad is here, as well as his mom. Well, actually, no, correction. His dad is here. Leonidas, King Leonidas. My apologies. Forgot their society there for a moment. Watching. He charges up the hill, and one boy and as the other 4 come in as a group. The enemy 4 come in as a group. Belle just sits there waiting for them over at the top. They rush him. Some of them thrusting their wooden spears, while others try and swing it down on him like a makeshift battering, like a makeshift, club. What does he do? He hunkers down. He raises his shield, and he watches, waiting, and he watches his opponent's movements, intercepting and blocking each and every attack, going for little jabs at their legs, their feet, their ankles. Because believe it or not, that was actually a lot of the battlefield deaths that occurred during the Greek times happened because someone cut the femoral artery. Yeah, that's where they would aim, right below the belt. A little bit lower than the belt, actually, at the thighs, to slice that femoral artery and cause someone to bleed to death. Because the armor, well, it wasn't going to be pierced that easy. But the one place that wasn't really armored, the thighs. As long as you get around their shield, well, there you go. My apologies. Back to the show. So, they would attack over and over and over, and Bell would hold fast and a strike, leaving little tiny, I wouldn't say tiny, but he would be leaving bruises and scrapes upon their legs and such. And right whenever one boy was about to circle round and attack him, well, that's when the rest of Bell's gang got up there. You see, Bell used himself as a distraction, while the other three circled around and flanked the other four. They were all distracted with the one who was at the top of the hill, so they did not see Bell's masterpiece come together. Oh, and what a masterpiece it was. The other three boys came in, jabbing the other four at the sides, just strike, strike, strike again. Oh, by the time it was all said and over, the field was clean. No blood was spilt, but boy, did those boys, they had to be somewhat assisted off. But while he was there, Bell looked out over the top of the hill and just smiled. He raised up his spear, his little wooden spear, and through the rain, he said, "This was for you, Father!" And upon hearing that, Leonidas began to crack a small grin. However, at that point in time, a bolt of lightning zipped down and struck the wooden spear that was being held aloft by Bell, sending him flying, well, off the hill. Oh yes. He landed, rolled, and kicked up so much mud it wasn't believable. Leonidas panicked, jumped forth from the stands, and leapt through the crowd, running straight to his son. But upon touching him, he was electrocuted. "What in the name of Zeus is going on?" he remarks, as he notices a sudden change beginning to happen in Bell. "Bell, speak to me, boy, speak to me. You're going to be okay." As he takes off his cape and wraps him in it, and picks up Bell, constantly being struck and shocked by the passive current that's still stuck within him. Because if you ever never noticed, or never knew, when someone is struck by lightning, they do discharge a good bit of electricity for a period of time if you try and touch them. Also happens when you're working on actual electrical wires. Fun fact. Fun facts with Leonidas. I should make that. I should make that a skit. Anyways, back to the show. Sorry. So he takes him. He wraps him up, and he endures the pain of the electrical shocks as he brings him to the apothecary. He sits him down, and they treat him in the medical ward. For 2 days, Bell is unconscious. For 2 days, people think he would die. There are even rumors being spread that he somehow invoked the wrath of Zeus. That he must have done something. Maybe his pride, maybe his hubris caught up with him. But no, any Spartan would be, any adult Spartan would have that amount of hubris. And someone as the son of King Leonidas, well, naturally, he was not to be some passive child. Why would Zeus punish him for that? But as the days went on, subtle changes began to happen to Bell. His once dark brown hair turned white. His once dark brown eyes lit aglow with a red fury. His once tanned skin began to turn pale, and almost as if it was pure ivory itself. The apothecary, stunned by this, what is going on? What's wrong with this child? Wait a minute. As they looked him over every single time, the changes did not dissipate. And therefore Leonidas was called in. Sir, your highness, forgive me, the apothecary notes, but I believe your son is being blessed. Blessed? Yes, my lord. Look upon him as he removes the blanket from over Bell. And Leonidas gawks at the changes his son has, well, gone through. What is this? What is this? What happened to my child? I do not know, sir. I do not know. All I know is after the strike of lightning hit your son, within a day, his skin began to, turn paler. His hair as well. His eyes, as he opens them, are even a blaze, like a light, like a bright crimson, like a fire within the night. Your Highness, I don't think this was Zeus trying to harm your son. I do believe your son was being blessed by the God of gods. Keep this to yourself, Leonidas tells him. But sir, we must inform, as Leonidas reaches out and grabs him by the shirt and grabs him by the neck. Keep this to yourself. But why? Surely, a child blessed by the Father of gods must be. It must be told. No. He is still a child. And as a child, he should not be exposed to that sort of environment. We'll wait, especially in his current condition. We wait until he's better. and then we may reveal the news. Understood. Yes, Your Highness. As he lets him go and walks out of the room. Upon the third day, Bell awakens. My head. As he stumbles forth and goes to the pot of water and splashes himself in the face several times over. I feel like what's wrong with me? As he begins to go through everything again. Huh? Upon examining his hand, he says, "Why is my skin so pale? What happened to me?" As he begins to try and search for something to reflect his image. Mirror. I need a mirror. As he stumbles out of the apothecary's ward and out of the medical area entirely, alerting quite a few people. Says, "Bell, you should not be awake. You should not be up. Please, go lay back down and get off me. I need a mirror and food. Primarily food, actually. Bell, you need to sit down." "What is it?" "You've changed, my boy. You've been blessed by a god." "Blessed? What do you mean?" "Zeus has reached out and touched you. He has given you a gift, a blessing. You are a symbol of our great nation. You are a symbol to all those Greeks that sit in their lavish abodes, that we, the sons of Sparta, the sons and daughters of Sparta, are the true. We are the ones that were truly picked by the divines. That we are the true Greeks. That we are Spartans. And that we are the ones chosen by gods themselves." "I don't understand what you're saying. Get away from me." "Bell, you have to sit still. Your body is still not recovered from the blessing." "I said, get off me!" As Bell moves forward and shoves this man, this apothecary. And he shoves him a good bit. This 8-year-old Spartan boy just threw a 20-year-old apothecary at a wall that was 10 feet away. Now granted, this wasn't a large shove. This was more of a mild one, just to get him off of him. And granted yet again, that this shove did not break the wall nor crack it. What it did do was send the apothecary backwards enough to where he, whacked his head on the back of his head on the wall, which rendered him unconscious. Now, Bell then begins to run out of there and, run home. Now Gorgo has not seen her son in days now. And upon Belle's return home, she goes, "Who are... Wait, Belle? Mom. Oh, it feels strange." As she rushes over and gives him a hug. "We were so worried about you. We thought you were dead." "No, I'm fine. But I'm starving. Can I please have something to eat?" "What happened to you?" "I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. People are acting strange. They're looking at me weird. I just need something to eat." She says, okay, just sit at the table here. Breakfast is almost ready anyhow." As she puts down a simple meal, some meat, cheeses, some nuts, a Spartan staple, actually. Well, for field training, that was at least. She gave him that as a bit of an appetizer to, well, stave him off. Within less than a minute, the amount that was there was gone. And so was the pitcher of water that was poured for him. She turns around and is shocked. "Belle, you never ate that fast." "Oh no, it just... I need more." And so she gladly prepares more. After a second serving of food, my apologies, he's finally sated. Sorry about that. So, after the second serving, he is sated. And he in turn decides to, well, try and find out what happened to him. Gorgo presents him a mirror and tells him, "You look very different, my boy, but I know you're still my boy." As she strokes his hair and tells him, "It's gonna be okay." As he looks over himself, pulling his eyelid open, just going, "Why are my eyes like this? My hair? What the hell's going on? What in the name of Hades?" As he runs out of the door, as he just is about to run out whenever he's just embraced tighter. "Just calm down. Your father will be here soon." As well, upon that note, Leonidas does enter his own abode. So I should have known this is where you would run to. "Father, what happened to me?" Upon that little training victory, you were struck by lightning. And it appears as if you survived. Not only did you survive, but you have come out of it with a bit of a change. From what the apothecary tells me, it's a blessing of Zeus. I do not know if that is true or not, but it does not change the fact that you will still need to train. Of course, Father, I wasn't going to renege on my training." "Then why did you run here?" I panicked. I didn't know where to go." "A Spartan soldier always knows where to go. He goes one of three places: to the training yard, to the mess hall, to the battlefield." Do you understand me, boy? Yes. Yes, Father. I apologize. As he gets on one knee, please forgive my indiscretion. As Leonidas bends down, it's okay. You were panicked. You were scared. You're going to be okay, my son. You're still young. But you need to remember you're a man of Sparta. And as a man of Sparta, you must not look or appear weak. You are the one. You are my son, which means a lot more is expected of you than you would believe. Even by me. Yes, Father. Now, let's get you to the training hall. Yes, Father. And that, my friends, is where I'm going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed your little, your, yes, little entertainment that I provided, and have a blessed evening, and au revoir. Oh, and Merry Christmas.